Hi, my name is Sam Ness. I'm a singer-songwriter originally from Sauk, Prairie, Wisconsin. I graduated in 2015 and traveled the following year through the UK and Europe as a full-time busker, a street performer. Found my way back home to perform in various performing arts centers and festivals and different venues across the Midwest. As far as career highlights, I have been lucky enough to perform in 10 countries the last few years, opening for the band America in the Crystal Grand Music Theater in 2020, as well as for Night Ranger and Styx in the same theater the previous year. I've been lucky enough to play in about half of the US and still be able to come home to Sauk City. It really clicked for me towards the end of high school. I really enjoyed performing. I wanted to pursue that, but I wasn't sure really how to or what direction I would take with that. I got a bit overwhelmed with my options moving forward of colleges or performing opportunities, and I decided that instead of trying to make a rash decision, I would just take some time away, think about it, and come back to it. And during my time away, I ended up falling in love with street performing specifically. And from that point on, that's just who I've been. The whole idea of putting yourself out there, of taking risks, of moving forward in the face of overwhelming odds was huge for me. Uh, I kept that with me as I traveled and as I continue to travel and grow my career. I'm always trying to take new challenges and new exciting risks, and um, the sense of community that even if you take a risk and it doesn't work out like you originally planned to, that's what we have a community of support for. And that's what that was for me. The software music program showed that, okay, you sing a little lot of pitch one time, or you try a solo that doesn't really work. That's cool. You still have your support. You try again tomorrow. So I had a beautiful evening in Cambodia performing on a venue that was originally a fishing boat that they transformed into like a concert series venue. And as we sailed up into the mountains in the sunset, it was just really memorable. Um, People just sitting quietly on this boat, cross-legged, and just really feeling that moment together. It was really special. One that comes to mind, I think, was in our performance of Beauty and the Beast, my senior year, when there was supposed to be this really cool transformation scene where I was supposed to be picked up by these wire deals, and they never came down because there was an error with the rigging, and I'm laying there like, what do I do? I'm supposed to be flying right now. And I having absolutely no idea what to do, but I needed like to transform still out of the beast. So I just kind of like, I don't remember what I did. I think I like ran behind the curtain and just like threw off bits of my costume and then came back like, ta-da. And that was just like, I wish I could do that again. But that one comes to mind. Yeah. With a lot of arts, it's difficult sometimes to know what the exact path should be. There's no really exact layout for anything, whether it's photography or sculpture or performing. There's no guidebook. And so for me, learning the art of street performing, of performing in various venues, it takes a lot of practice, and it takes a lot of trial and error, and sometimes failure and sometimes unexpected success. And for me as a street performer, realizing that sometimes as you're traveling through different cities, the same act does not work very well. And so not having a great income at times, or struggling to figure out what to do next. But this is what I want to do. This is what I feel feel drawn to do. And I never really hesitated from that. So I knew that there's always another tomorrow. There's always another opportunity to push forward. My 18-year-old self, all those many, many years ago, tell him just go for it, just send it. There's no reason not to. I knew at the time that this is what I wanted to do, but I felt a little bit pulled in different directions from either like social pressure, peer pressure, financial pressure. And looking back, the more we hesitate, the more, I should say, the more we go for it, the better our chances are our success. So yeah, go for it. There have been huge changes as far as what I've seen personally from COVID and the pandemic. Right away at the beginning, with all the uncertainty, everything was just flat out canceled. One day, my phone just kept ringing and emails kept coming in. I lost about 40 shows in a day. And after that, it's like, all right, well, we'll just sit tight. We'll see what happens. I did end up kind of pulling some shows yet that year. They were more of like the outdoor wineries, or like the beer gardens, outdoor brewery kind of thing. But then as we pushed into the winter, uh, nothing was open, or it was in smaller towns where it was so packed that it's hard as a performer to still connect with an audience. So kind of pivoting, uh, like most other years, just a little bit different. Pivoting, trying to find out what's next, what's the next right thing to do that's going to keep me and my audiences safe and also happy. And I think that we have a job as creatives, whatever our medium is, to spread positivity throughout our community and provide that bit of relief come Friday night from the work week. And so, trying to find ways that I can still do that, whether it's Facebook Live, or it's Zoom shows, or it's creating content on my own to share with people. There's always something to do, and so I've been able to pivot it and experiment with new mediums of creativity. Yeah, success has meant a lot of different things, and I think it changes by the day. I always like to say that every day I hit a milestone that I didn't know that I was reaching for. And some things, like when I was performing in the street and I would see someone else do something kind for someone else directly related to my show. I remember standing in Queenstown, New Zealand, performing. It was about 9 o'clock at night, and there was 40 or 50 people standing there completely silently. And in that moment together, and there was a gal that was rubbing her hands together. She was really cold and she wanted to keep listening, but she was very clearly cold. So another gentleman walked to the cafe nearby, bought her a hot cocoa so that she could keep her hands warm and continue listening. And for me as a performer, I see my job as um, not necessarily asking anything of anyone, just trying to give my time, my energy, uh, and music or creativity, and then create an atmosphere where people feel comfortable giving to each other, not necessarily back to me, because it comes back no matter what. And so I have a successful evening when um, after the show, someone says, "Hey, you inspired me to reach out to my daughter, who I haven't chatted with in a couple months." Or, months later, someone says, "Hey, you inspired me to travel. I took a trip to Florida," or something like that. That's how I define success in this current moment.